Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do a walk through the English garden. Of course, it's after the obligatory cafe visit. Okay guys, so we've walked off of the Marienplatz and I'm walking up now towards the Odeonsplatz. That's going to be our next port of call. So on this particular walk, guys, I'm going to be experimenting with the AllTrails app, which is something that I've just taken out a subscription for. I've done one walk in the mountains with it already, and now doing this city walk. So I'll be giving you some feedback about this particular app and how I'm finding it. So approaching the Haus der Kunst, which is a building from the Nazi period, as you can tell from the neoclassic architecture of the building. And as we approach the entrance to the park, the famous Munich surfers. Yeah, I would suggest this trail, guys, as a great option when you're in the city. You'd need a morning or an afternoon to do this particular trail that I'm doing now. Starting off in Marienplatz, as I say, seeing some of the sights in the centre of the city, and then getting into the garden here and getting a feel of what this is all about. It's the largest urban park in Europe, and this walk that I'm doing now is only covering half of it. So a great way to get some fresh air, get some exercise, and to get a feel of what this city's all about. Yeah, I've just started using the AllTrails app as well, guys. In fact, this is the first walk that I've done with the app, so I've paid the subscription for it because, as I say, I'm planning to do a lot more hiking in the future. And the great thing is that you've got an in-trail navigator as well, so that you don't get lost as you're walking through the park here, say, for instance. What did we do before these apps? Use maps, I guess. But, you know, it really does make life easier to be able to navigate on your phone and to have the security of knowing that there's a good chance that you won't get lost because you've got that navigation. Yeah, it'll be very interesting to see how it works when I get up into the mountains, into steeper places and so forth, whether the navigator is actually valid in those locations. Central like this in a park or whatever, it's fairly easy to keep track, but of course if you're up in the mountains or whatever and you get off trail, sometimes it can be very challenging to get back onto the trail again. So again, stick with the channel and you'll probably get to see the challenges that I encounter as well. I find it quite interesting on these apps, guys, these hiking apps and so forth, when they give a rating of whether the walk is easy, moderate or hard. Of course, that's very difficult to judge because it depends on your fitness level to start with. It's all relative, isn't it? This particular walk that I'm doing now is around about 10-11 kilometers. So for an average healthy person, a couple of hours, 2.5 hours. For an average healthy person, I would say this is a moderate walk, and that goes along with the reviews on AllTrails. But as I say, it really does depend on how fit you are to start with. Certainly the park is quite remote in places, so you don't want to get into a situation where you take too much on and end up getting into the middle of the park. Maybe your feet are sore or whatever because you've been doing a lot of walking as a tourist anyway, and then you get into the middle of the park and you find you've got blisters and you can't move any further. That could be a little bit of a problem because, as I say, you're out of the way a little bit. You're not in the centre of the city where you can just head for a cafe or something like that. Yeah, I would say that, you know, if you've got walking challenges, and I find that on my tours quite a lot of people are very tired from touring. Maybe they've got issues, especially if somebody's a little bit older or whatever. You know, maybe you'd want to stick to the centre of the city if you're in that situation. But as I say, for an average healthy person, moderate walk, 10 kilometres, 2.5 hours, something like that. Just a little tip, guys. If you're using your phone as a navigation device when you're out on the trail doing a hiking trip or whatever, it's well worth bringing one of those little solar battery chargers along with you, so that if your phone gets run right down battery wise, you can charge it up on your journeys in between the actual trails, or when you're actually walking along. If you're starting to get low battery, you can charge your phone back up again, so that you don't get stranded out in the middle of nowhere. I have to say, this AllTrails app seems to be very promising with its directions. Here I've got a fork in the path here. Look, it would be very easy to take the wrong direction, but my phone's telling me I've got to stay on this path here. So absolutely delighted to have this assistant along with me. With regards to tour operations this year, folks, my tour company here in Munich, the level of tourism has been around about the same as 2023, which was very busy. The booking habits of people have changed. I've noticed that people are making late bookings a lot more frequently now. Maybe because people's circumstances have changed in the last few years economically and so forth, and also with the geopolitical situation the way it is at the moment. People are leaving their bookings, it seems, until a little bit later. But it's interesting to compare years. But generally speaking, very busy. Nearly went off trail there, got distracted by the River Isar and a nice little waterfall there, and when I turned round there were about 3 or 4 options in terms of paths to take, but again, with the app, very easy to get back on track again. towards the end of the English Garden portion of the walk now, guys. This circular walk through Munich Old Town and the English Garden. I have to say, it's absolutely splendid. Especially on a sunny day like today, you can really appreciate how you've got this little oasis in the middle of the city. Fantastic! So there's another little beer garden coming up here, guys, with a little playground for kids. So there are opportunities for refreshments as you come through the garden. And I'm coming to the exit now. And yeah, I think that's what I'll be looking for as well at the end of this, is a little bit of refreshment. So that alcohol-free beer has set me up nicely, guys. On to the last leg now, back towards Marienplatz. Thanks for taking the time out to watch the video, guys. I hope it's given you a little flavour of what the English Garden is all about. And if you're in Munich and you want to check out my tours, please feel free to visit evansguide.net, focusing on World War II and Third Reich history here in Munich. And please also don't forget to subscribe and like. It helps me out tremendously on the channel. All the best, and I'll see you in Munich.